Physics doesn't negotiate with your budget. 10 years. That's what the judge gave me. Not for being a woman in construction. Not for disrupting the industry. 10 years in federal prison because I fired the safety engineer who told me the temporary supports wouldn't hold. And 3 workers died when the ceiling collapsed. Be me, 43, standing in federal courtroom in Baltimore, wearing orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed. Judge is reading my sentence for involuntary manslaughter. The defendant showed reckless disregard for human life. Prioritized profit over safety despite explicit warnings. 3 families will never see their loved ones again because you refused to listen to your chief safety engineer. Sentence: 10 years federal prison, eligible for parole after 7. 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter, served consecutively. I'm crying, my lawyer is talking. I can't hear anything. Just thinking about how I got here. How 18 months ago, I was operations manager making $175,000. Living in a nice townhouse in Federal Hill. On track for VP promotion, company rising star. Now I'm inmate number 84729 at Federal Women's Facility. Let me tell you how it happened. Go back 18 months. That's where it started. March 2024, I'm Veronica, 43, just hired as operations manager. Baltimore Construction Group, major contractor, 800 employees. Company does commercial construction, renovations, big projects. Annual revenue $340 million. Been in business for 45 years. I'm brought in from corporate world, 15 years in operations management. Most recent role was operations director at tech company. MBA from Johns Hopkins, strong resume, confident in my abilities. Hired specifically to modernize operations and improve margins. CEO is guy named Walter, 64, second-generation owner. We need fresh perspective. We're too set in old ways. Profit margins are tight. Construction is competitive. I need someone who can find efficiencies, cut waste. That's me. That's what I do. Operational efficiency. Start reviewing company operations, looking for cost savings. Notice safety budget is consistently high, 3 to 4% of project costs. In corporate world, overhead is usually 1 to 2%. This seems bloated. Chief safety engineer is guy named Howard, 61, been here 38 years. Makes $145,000 annually, oversees all job site safety protocols. He's old school, very thorough, won't approve anything remotely risky. To me, he represents exactly the problem, old guard resistance. April 2024, big project gets approved. This is my chance. $45 million renovation of 12-story office building in downtown Baltimore. Converting old offices to luxury condos. Extensive structural work. Timeline is 18 months. Penalty clauses if we miss deadlines. Budget is tight. Ownership wants strong margins on this one. Walter tells me this project could get you that VP role. Show me you can deliver on time and under budget. I'm motivated. This is my proving ground, my career advancement. First project meeting. Howard presents his safety plan. Detailed specifications for scaffolding, temporary supports, fall protection. He's talking about grade 5 scaffolding systems, load-rated platforms. Temporary structural supports for ceiling work on 3rd floor. We're removing load-bearing elements. Need engineered shoring. Each temporary column rated for 15,000 pounds minimum, plus dynamic load factors for worker movement and equipment. I'm looking at his budget. $890,000 for safety on $45 million project. That's 2% just for safety equipment and protocols. Seems excessive. We're renovating a building, not constructing from scratch. Howard, this safety budget seems really high. It's calculated based on OSHA requirements and engineering specs. Can we find more cost-effective solutions that still meet code? These aren't suggestions, they're minimum safe requirements. He's immediately defensive. This is the old guard mentality. Surely there's room for optimization, modern approaches. Modern approaches don't change physics and load calculations. This conversation isn't going well. He's resistant to input. After meeting, I talked to Walter about Howard. He seems very entrenched in expensive safety protocols. Howard's cautious, sometimes overly so, but he knows his stuff. I think we can meet safety requirements more efficiently. Be careful. Safety is one area where we don't cut corners. But I hear this as try to find savings but don't tell me about it. Bring an outside safety consultant for second opinion. Woman named Alicia, 34, newer to the field but enthusiastic. She's more aligned with modern construction management philosophy. A lot of old-school engineers overspecify equipment. You can absolutely meet OSHA minimums for less cost. She reviews Howard's plan, suggests alternatives. Grade 3 scaffolding instead of grade 5 saves $180,000. Fewer temporary support columns. Optimized placement saves $95,000. Reduced fall protection systems, minimum compliant, saves $65,000. Total revised safety budget, $550,000, saving $340,000. That's significant savings, nearly 1% of total project budget. Take this to Howard. I got second opinion. We could do safety for $550,000. He reviews Alicia's plan, shaking his head the whole time. This is inadequate. These load calculations don't account for dynamic forces. What dynamic forces? It's a renovation, not a factory. During shift changes, you'll have both crews on floor simultaneously. We'll have 40-day shift workers leaving, 38 evening shift arriving. That's 78 people plus equipment on third floor at once. Your temporary supports are rated for maximum 60 people static load. I'm getting frustrated. He's always finding problems. Can't we schedule shifts so they don't overlap? Not realistically. Shift changes aren't instantaneous. Workers arrive early, overlap during handoff. It's normal flow. Then we stagger the arrival times. You're over-engineering this. Alicia says it's code compliant. Howard's voice gets serious. Code minimum is for ideal conditions. This is active renovation with ceiling removal, non-ideal conditions. You need safety margins above minimum. That's basic engineering. I've had enough of his resistance. This is obstructionism. I appreciate your input, but we're going with Alicia's plan. I won't sign off on this. It's not safe. Then I'll find someone who will. May 2024, I make the decision. Howard has to go. He's blocking progress, resistant to cost-effective solutions. Creating hostile environment for female leadership. I document incidents of him undermining management decisions. Build case for termination, creating toxic work environment. Resistant to modern safety approaches and cost optimization. Meet with HR. They're hesitant. Howard's been here 38 years. He's also set in his ways and blocking necessary changes. Safety is sensitive area. We should be careful. I have outside consultant who'll approve the plan. We'll be fine. HR approves termination. We do it carefully by the book. Call Howard in my office. HR present. It's formal. We're making change in safety leadership direction. Your position is being eliminated as part of operational restructuring. Howard knows exactly what this is about. You're firing me because I won't approve unsafe conditions. We're restructuring. This isn't personal. I'm 61 years old with 38 years of experience. I've kept people alive on job sites my entire career. And you're firing me so you can save $340,000 on safety. I'm defensive now. I'm firing you for being obstructionist, for undermining female leadership and resisting modernization. This has nothing to do with your gender. It has everything to do with you creating hostile work environment. He stands up very calm, very controlled. When that ceiling comes down, and it will come down, you remember that I told you exactly what would happen. You're being paranoid and unprofessional. No, I'm being an engineer. You should try it sometime. Security escorts him out. He takes his files, his 38 years of knowledge. I hire Alicia as new safety director, $95,000, half Howard's salary. Additional $50,000 savings on top of the $340,000 equipment savings. I'm presenting this to Walter. I've optimized our safety operations, reduced budget by $390,000 while maintaining full code compliance. Walter is pleased. That's the kind of efficiency I wanted. Just make sure we're still safe. We can't afford accidents. We're code compliant. Alicia has approved everything. June 2024, construction begins on the renovation project. Scaffolding goes up. Temporary supports installed per Alicia's specs. Grade 3 scaffolding system, lighter and cheaper than Grade 5. Temporary support columns, 12 instead of Howard's specified 18. Everything is code minimum compliant. Inspector signs off. First few weeks go fine. Work is progressing on schedule. I'm visiting site regularly. Workers are productive. Timeline is good. Then some workers start mentioning concerns to foreman. Scaffolding feels bouncy when we're all up there. Third floor sags a bit when whole crew is working. Foreman, guy named Miguel, 30 years construction experience. He comes to my office. Some guys are worried about the shoring. Says it flexes more than they're used to on other jobs. Is it flexing outside safe parameters? No, but they're saying it feels different. Feelings aren't engineering data. Is it code compliant? Yeah, inspector passed it, just passing along the concern. I dismiss this. Workers always complain about something. They're used to overbuilt systems. This is optimized engineering. Week 4 of construction. Minor incident during heavy work. Crew is moving steel beams on third floor. Scaffolding shifts slightly. Nobody hurt. Nothing falls, but workers report it felt unstable. Miguel calls me. We should maybe add more temporary supports. Did anything fail or exceed ratings? No, but it moved more than expected under load. Then it's performing within specifications. Keep working. Week 6, another report. Temporary support beam showing stress crack. Small crack in weld on one of the support columns. Miguel takes photo, sends it to me. Should we reinforce this? I show it to Alicia. Is this a safety issue? It's surface level. Well, within tolerance, we can patch it. See, patch it and we're fine. Miguel isn't happy. Howard would have replaced the whole column. Howard isn't here anymore. Patch it and continue. Week 8. OSHA inspector does random site visit. They do spot checks occasionally, normal part of construction. Inspector walks the site, takes measurements, reviews our permits. Comes back with observations, some concerns about load distribution. Your temporary shoring is minimum compliant, but you're at max capacity. Recommend additional support columns before proceeding further. I'm frustrated. Here we go. Regulatory overreach. We're code compliant. Your inspector already approved our setup. Compliant for stated conditions, but you've got large crew. Might want buffer above minimum given number of workers. I push back. This feels like harassment. We're doing everything right. Not harassment, just recommendation based on what I'm seeing. We'll note your recommendation, but we're proceeding as planned. Inspector leaves, notes his recommendation and report. We ignore it. Week 10, I'm presenting project status to Walter and ownership. We're on schedule, under budget by $390,000 on safety alone. Projected completion is on time. Margins are strong. Walter is happy. This is exactly what we needed. Well done. Ownership is pleased, talking about that VP role opening up. I'm riding high. This is working. My approach is validated. Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, day 42 of construction. Normal day. Work is progressing. I'm in office doing paperwork. Time is 2:47 p.m. Shift change. Day crew finishing. Evening crew arriving. This happens every day. Crews overlap for 10 to 15 minutes during handoff. Day shift is 45 workers. Evening shift is 38 workers. Both crews on third floor simultaneously. Normal transition. One of the workers, guy named Carlos, notices something. Temporary support column is making creaking sound. He yells, "Hey, this beam is cracking." Other workers look, see the cracks spreading in the support. Someone yells, "Get off the floor." People start moving towards stairs, towards safety. But it's too late. The support column fails completely. Loud crack like a gunshot. column buckles. Third floor ceiling is suspended by these temporary supports. One fails, load shifts to others, they're not rated for it. Cascading failure. 3 more columns buckle within seconds. 2,000 pounds of concrete ceiling slab falls, plus steel rebar, ductwork, construction materials. Falls on workers who are still on third floor. Screaming, dust cloud, alarms going off. I hear the sirens from my office 3 blocks away. Don't think anything of it. City sounds, construction area. My phone rings, it's Miguel, he's screaming. The ceiling collapsed. We need ambulances now. What? What ceiling? Third floor, the whole section came down. People are trapped. I'm running to my car, driving to site, can't process this. Arrived to chaos. Emergency vehicles everywhere. Fire trucks, ambulances, police blocking the street. Workers are outside covered in dust, some bleeding, all in shock. Emergency crews are going inside, try to reach trapped workers. Miguel sees me. His face is devastated. 3 guys are dead. 8 are hurt bad. We got most people out, but 3 didn't make it. I can't breathe. This can't be happening. Medics are bringing out injured workers on stretchers. 1 guy is unconscious, head injury, blood everywhere. Another is screaming, his leg is crushed. Fire chief comes out, shaking his head, talking to police. I hear him say 3 confirmed fatalities. OSHA investigators arrive within an hour. They shut down the entire site. Nobody can work. Start documenting everything, taking photos, measurements. Police are interviewing workers, getting statements. Detective comes to me. You're the operations manager. Yes, I'm Veronica. I run this project. We need to talk about your safety protocols. That night is a blur, giving statements, talking to lawyers. Company lawyers arrive. Tell me not to say anything more. Media is outside. News crews filming. This is major story. 3 workers killed in Baltimore construction collapse. I go home. Can't sleep. Can't process what happened. 3 people are dead. 8 are injured. This was supposed to be my success story, my VP promotion. Next morning, OSHA preliminary findings. Temporary support system was inadequate for actual load conditions. Supports rated for 60 workers static load, had 83 workers during shift change. Plus equipment, plus materials, total load exceeded ratings by 40%. Support column that failed had the stress crack we patched. Should have been replaced. Patch was insufficient. Investigation expands. They're reviewing all my decisions. Why did we use grade 3 scaffolding instead of grade 5? Why did we have 12 support columns instead of 18? Why did we ignore OSHA inspector's recommendation? September 2024, families of dead workers are identified. Carlos, 34, married, 2 kids, age 4 and 6. Deshawn, 26, engaged to be married in 3 months. Robert, 48, single dad, 3 teenagers. Their families on the news, devastated, demanding answers. Why wasn't the site safe? Who cut corners? Who's responsible? Company lawyers are negotiating with families, wrongful death suits. But criminal investigation is also beginning. Baltimore District Attorney reviewing case for criminal charges. October 2024, DA's office interviews Howard, the fired safety engineer. He provides all his documentation, all his warnings, all his objections. Email where I said, Howard is being paranoid about load ratings. Meeting notes where he predicted exactly this scenario. His original safety plan that would have prevented this. Documentation showing I fired him for refusing to approve cheaper plan. November 2024, I'm arrested at my home. Charged with 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Criminal negligence causing death. Willful OSHA violations resulting in fatalities. Bail is set at $500,000. Company posts it. I'm released. But I'm facing 30 years in prison if convicted on all counts. December 2024, civil lawsuits are filed. 3 families suing company for wrongful death. 8 injured workers suing for damages. Total claims exceed $100 million. Company's insurance doesn't cover criminal negligence. We're exposed. We're going to pay massive settlements. January 2025, company settles civil suits to avoid trial. Total settlement, $85 million across all families and injured workers. Carlos's family gets $18 million. He was primary breadwinner. Deshawn's fiancée gets $12 million. Lost her future husband. Robert's teenage kids get $22 million. Lost their only parent. Injured workers get amounts based on permanent disabilities. One guy is paralyzed from waist down, gets $15 million. Company is financially devastated by these settlements. Stock price crashes, credit lines are pulled, facing bankruptcy. Walter, the CEO, is forced out by ownership. Company is sold at distressed valuation to competitor. 800 employees lose their jobs when company dissolves. All because I saved $340,000 on safety. March 2025, my criminal trial begins. Prosecution is led by Assistant DA named Margaret, 45, very thorough. She presents timeline of my decisions, my cost-cutting, my warnings ignored. Calls Howard to testify. He's the star witness. He explains in detail the engineering requirements I ignored. Temporary supports must account for dynamic loads, not just static. Shift changes create peak loading conditions. That's engineering 101. I specified 18 columns rated for 15,000 pounds each. She approved 12 columns rated for 10,000 pounds each. The math doesn't work. It was obviously inadequate. Margaret asks, "Did you warn her about this?" Yes, explicitly, multiple times in writing and verbally. What did she say? She said I was being paranoid and obstructionist. She accused me of undermining her because she's a woman. Then she fired me to bring in consultant who would approve her plan. Prosecution shows the emails, my own words condemning me. Howard is being paranoid about load ratings. We need to cut safety costs or I'm not getting my bonus. Alicia is more aligned with modern construction management. My defense attorney, guy named Lawrence, tries to argue. She relied on licensed safety consultant who approved the plan. Margaret destroys this. After firing the more experienced engineer who disagreed. Alicia had 6 years experience. Howard had 38 years. She chose the consultant who would tell her what she wanted to hear. Lawrence, she met minimum code requirements. Inspector approved it. Margaret, minimum for ideal static conditions, not for actual usage. OSHA inspector recommended additional supports. She ignored him. Multiple workers reported concerns. She dismissed them all. The evidence is overwhelming. My decisions led directly to deaths. Victim impact statements are devastating. Carlos's wife testifies, "My children ask when Daddy is coming home. I have to tell them he's never coming home because someone wanted to save money." Deshawn's mother, "He was going to be married, have a family, build a life. Now I visit his grave instead of planning his wedding." Robert's teenage daughter, 16, "I had to quit school to work. My brothers and I lost our dad and our stability because she thought $340,000 was more important than his life." Paralyzed worker testifies from wheelchair. "I'll never walk again, never play with my kids, never work construction. I'm 32 years old and my life is permanently destroyed because she ignored every warning from people who knew better." Trial lasts 3 weeks. Jury deliberates for 6 hours. Come back with verdict, guilty on all counts. 3 counts involuntary manslaughter. Criminal negligence causing death. Willful OSHA violations resulting in fatalities. Sentencing is scheduled for 2 weeks later. That's today, February 2026, standing in this courtroom. Judge delivers the sentence, 10 years federal prison. Eligible for parole after 7 years if behavior is good. 3 counts served consecutively, not concurrently. You showed reckless disregard for human life. Prioritize profit over safety despite explicit warnings. Fired an expert engineer who tried to prevent this tragedy. 3 families will never see their loved ones again because of your decisions. Bailiffs, take me into custody. I'm going directly to prison. No going home, no packing, straight to federal detention. Processed as inmate number 84729, Federal Women's Facility. Orange jumpsuit, prison ID, cell assignment. From operations manager making $175,000 to federal prisoner. I'm 43, won't get out until I'm 50 at earliest. Company has sued me personally for gross negligence. $2. 8M judgment against me for their losses. I filed bankruptcy, but judgment survives, will follow me forever. Lost my townhouse, my savings, my career, my freedom. Everything gone because I wouldn't listen to Howard. Year later, I'm in prison, working laundry detail for 12 cents per hour. Howard is now VP of safety at major construction firm. Makes $195,000, consults on projects across Mid-Atlantic region. His reputation. The engineer who was right, the one they should have listened to. He testified at my trial, his warnings vindicated. The company that bought Baltimore Construction Group hired Howard to completely overhaul their safety protocols. He writes new standards, trains all managers. His rule number 1, safety engineer has absolute veto on any project decision. My case is used in engineering ethics courses. Business schools teach it as cautionary tale. Manager who prioritized cost savings over safety, ignored expert warnings, resulted in deaths and criminal conviction. I'm the example, the warning, the person you never want to be. Carlos's kids are 6 and 8 now, growing up without their dad. $18 million settlement is in trust fund, but money doesn't replace a father. Deshawn's fiancée never married anyone else. Keeps his photo on her desk, the life they never got to have. Robert's kids graduated high school using settlement money, but they did it without their dad there to watch. Paralyzed worker is 34 now, still in wheelchair, always will be. He's married with kids, but can't pick them up, can't play with them. All because I cut $340,000 from safety budget. Now I'm here in federal prison, February 2026, serving year 2 of 10-year sentence. Wake up at 5:30 a.m., work laundry until 3 p.m., back to cell. Eat cafeteria food, no privacy, no freedom, no future. While the people I killed are still dead, and the people I hurt are still suffering. And Howard is still right. About everything. The load calculations, the support requirements, the warnings. Physics doesn't negotiate with budgets. Engineering doesn't care about profit margins. Gravity applies equally to cost-cutting managers. I learned that the hardest way possible. 3 workers learned it with their lives. 8 more learned it with their bodies. Their families learned it with their grief. And I learned it with 10 years in federal prison. For ignoring the one person who knew what he was talking about. The 61-year-old safety engineer with 38 years of experience. Who told me the supports wouldn't hold? Who predicted exactly what would happen? Who I fired for being obstructionist? He was right, I was wrong. They're dead, I'm in prison. And every day, I wake up in this cell. I think about that meeting where he warned me. When that ceiling comes down, and it will come down. You remember that I told you exactly what would happen. I remember Howard. I remember every day. For the next 8 years minimum. In federal prison. Inmate number 84729. Former operations manager. Now, just another number. Who learned too late that you can't fire physics. You can't negotiate with gravity. And you can't save $340,000 by ignoring the person who knows what they're talking about. That's my life now.